poet that I selected, Cesar Vallejo. He embodies everything that Iago said in his introductory remarks about Latin American poetry. Vallejo is, in my view, one of the greatest poets of the 20th century. During his lifetime, only 3 books were published. I think another 4 or 5 were published after his untimely death. Vallejo was born in Peru, in a medium-sized country city, in 1895. He died in Paris, France in 1938 after returning from the front where he fought for the Republicans during the Spanish Civil War. One of the reasons that I picked Cesar Vallejo is because this year, 2016, marks the 80th anniversary of the beginning of that terrible, terrible tragedy of the 20th century, often thought of as the dress rehearsal for World War II. The Republican cause for which he fought for and believed in so much was defeated. So a genuine human tragedy, and alas, it colored his final days in Paris. He returned to France because he fell ill while he was in Spain and died of malaria there. He was with his wife, who died shortly thereafter. When he was still living in Peru, since Iago talked about the desire to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day, and what could be more appropriate than doing that? His first political activity was on behalf of the indigenous people of Peru, and he was jailed for that activity. And while he was in jail, he wrote one of his most significant books, Trisle, which was an astonishing book. It's very difficult to translate the poems in that book into English because they are totally avant-garde. He made up words, he used unusual fonts, he brought in colloquialisms, he brought in indigenous words from the native peoples of Peru, but at the same time he also had the capacity to write beautiful lyrics that anybody could understand and appreciate. His final book, Poemas Humanos, that was published in his lifetime, Human Poems, many of the poems in that book were about the Spanish Civil War. So I'm going to read a couple of his other well-known ones. In translation, one of the things that sort of gets lost in translation is the music of the original. If you can say that a poem has 3 principal components, the images, the ideas, and the music, it's the music that often gets lost in translation. So I'm going to try to read one of these poems in Spanish. So I'm going to be reading 3 poems. One of them will be in English and in Spanish. So the first, this is one of his most well-known poems, The Black Carols. There are blows in life so hard, I don't know, blows like a hatred of God, as though the face of them, the undertow of all that has been suffered, simply welled up in the soul. I don't know. There aren't many, but some. They open dark furrows in the fiercest face, in the strongest back. They could be the colts of barbarous Attila's hordes, perhaps, or black heralds of death's dispatch. They are the deep falls of the Christs of the soul, of some adorable faith and that destiny blasphemes. These bloody bows are the sizzling of some bread we burnt in the oven mouth. And man, poor man, he turns his eyes back as when someone greets us with a slap on the shoulder, turns his mad eyes, and all that he's been through wells up like a pool of blame in his gaze. Masa. Al fin de la batalla y muerto el combatiente, vino hacia el hombre y le dijo, no mueras, te amo tanto, pero el cadáver siguió muriendo. Se acasaron dos y repitieronle, no los dejes, valor, verle a la vida. Pero el cadáver siguió muriendo.
acudieron a la viente 100,000, 500,000, clamando, tanto amor y no podrá nada contra la muerte. Pero el cadáver ahí siguió muriendo. Le dieron millones de individuos con un ruido común. Quédate, hermano. Pero el cadáver ahí siguió muriendo. Entonces, todos los hombres de la tierra le rodearon. Les vio el cadáver triste, emocionado, incorporóse lentamente, abrazó al primer hombre, echóse a andar. Masses. At the end of the battle, the combatant dead, a man came unto him and said, "Do not die, I love you so much." But the corpse, alas, kept on dying. 2 men approached and repeated, "Do not leave us, be brave, come back to life." But the corpse, alas, kept on dying. 20, 100, 1,000, 500,000 came toward him, shouting, "So much love, and nothing can be done against death." But the corpse, alas, kept on dying. Millions of people surrounded him with one common plea, "Stay here, brother." But the corpse, alas, kept on dying. Then all the men of the earth surrounded him, moved. The sad corpse looked at them. He rose slowly, embraced the first man, started to walk. And inspired by masses, this is my poem. The wind murmurs beloved in the leaves. The susurration puts him to sleep deep in the shade. The calm wind blows lightly, softly, and moves the ship of his mind. He is contented. It seems to him too many blessings, and the susurration puts him to sleep deep in the shade. If he happens to wake up covered with flowers, he cannot remember anything sorrowful. All traces of his loss is hidden in greens. As new life comes in the sound of the leaves, and the susurration puts him to sleep deep in the shade. Thank you, and once again, thank you, God.